There will be spoilers ahead. Lots of spoilers, so be careful, won't you?
Buenos dias, seniors and senoritas. Mein amo, Max. We are doing our Seriosa Los Directores con Pequeño Pantalones. And we are muy feliz to presento Senor Roberto Rodriguez.
No.
Okay, I'm done dazzling you with my absolutely flawless Spanish.
On behalf of the entire show, I would like to apologize to Mexico.
Silence. Yeah, Spain, you can go kiss our ass.
No.
Yep.
There's no
there we have
Spain
it.
in this.
Mike hates Spain.
I didn't say anything in fake
He likes,
Spanish.
he's fine with Mexico, but the people who invented the language, Mike hates them. Anyway, now just in case any of you, our listeners, don't have my astonishing gift for the loving tongue.
Gift.
Yes, this week we're checking Robert Rodriguez's directorial debut, El Mariachi, which is Spanish for the mariachi. Mr. Rodriguez has had quite the varied career. Some know him for his wild, hyper-violent films like From Dusk Till Dawn, Desperado, Planet Terror, one of the segments from Sin City. Others grew up with his Spy Kids movies. There are 5 of those.
Really?
Oh yeah. Or, more unfortunately, his sci-fi epic, Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Ah, they're cops.
Starring a very young Taylor, I'm more than just a werewolf without a shirt, Lautner.
No, you're not.
No, he's not. But we all have to start somewhere, and this is where he did. Cafe Olé! I'm your host, Max El Kabong Levine, and over there, just awakening from his Ford siesta, is Senor Miguel, the slowest mouse in all Mexico loose. Hola, Miguel!
Ay, caramba.
Well, that's just offensive. But before
you know, the nice thing about gifts, Max, is you can bring them back. Gift of language.
It's uncanny, ain't it?
Man of 1,000 voices.
But you only get to hear one.
I know. It's the wrong one.
Before we mariachi on our way, we wanted to hear what you thought of our
poll question.
Last time we asked you, are there elements you think are missing from today's movies? Dave says, not enough helium. I like helium. Oh, silly Dave, it's osmium that movies are missing. Osmium.
Huh?
There is too much tendency to make movies that are like movies that came before. That is to say, almost all of the stories take place in a limited range of locations and a limited range of time periods. There's L.A., New York City, San Francisco, generic suburb, generic small town. Oh, I grew up in generic small town USA.
Me too.
And that's about it. It's okay to film a movie in Canada, but not to set one there. Well, there aren't any people there anyway. Mexico could be a location. Hey, you know. But only if there are drug lords or banditos involved.
Oops.
Ooh.
See this week's episode.
Yikes. Well, this episode's not going to help. Sometimes, rarely, I see London, I see France, I see Mike's underpants. No, sorry. I see London, Paris, or Berlin in that order of frequency. Yeah, that actually sounds about, for American movies, yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Berlin, yeah, there's a few.
Yeah.
So I would like to see greater variety in the settings and locations used. I'd also like to see more use of real historical people in their context, even if they only play a small role in the story.
Oh, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, good example. Also, not enough pure love stories. Rom-coms are fun, but sometimes people fall in love and things get interesting and complicated, even though there is no comedy or killing in the story at all.
Wait, what?
Really?
Wait, what? I don't
Romance
understand.
without killing?
Or
That
funny?
doesn't make any sense.
No,
What?
sorry.
Nope. Don't like it.
Love without humor is hate. Everyone knows that.
Further, I would not mind a story that has an underlying point about proper conduct or teaches a moral lesson as long as the plot and character are more important to the script than the moral of the story. I didn't even mention Japan. No Muromachi or Nara period movies at all, and little outside Tokyo or Osaka, plus Kyoto in historical pieces.
He's right.
Also, no modern spy stories and not enough modern capers. Ninja fill the caper and spy genres in historical dramas. Remember, folks, always check your ceiling for ninjas.
It's true. I sprayed for ninjas just last week.
Yep, that's where they breed. Thank you, Dave. Very interesting stuff. Yep.
Wow, you have given more useless information in this show than I think any show, or maybe all of them combined.
Winning! Nick Hoffman said, I feel like current movies are geared toward Gen Z. Short attention span, no interest in slow build thrillers or horror. No interest. This comment's not interesting. I want to read another one. Oh, sorry. No interest in nuanced characters that don't provide easy answers. Yeah, I see your point, Nick, but I gotta say, I don't know if that's just Gen Z. People have argued about that since MTV came out in the 80s.
And that's our
basically
fault.
Started killing everybody's attention span.
Yeah.
Matt Reisman says, risk/bravery. They're cops. Too many movies today are self-conscious of the genre or storytelling conventions they employ, so they feel the need to quip, be snarky, or lampshade them.
Maybe he means lampoon? I don't know. Lampshade.
Well, maybe one of these phrases the kids are using. I don't know.
I only know one joke with lampshade, and it's not pretty.
No. It's tedious. Either be original and avoid the trope or lean into it hard. Good sound and light design. If I can't see and hear what's happening, you didn't make a successful film. Hell yes. Right on, Matt. Absolutely.
I felt bad until I found out that some of my early 30-something friends also watch movies with the subtitles turned on, because it's not just me.
Nope, it is not. Jamie Kleinert says plot, character development, meaningful connection, camera and prop and movie magic, storytelling. So basically everything, okay? So much these days relies on SFX to carry it. I'd argue with you if you were wrong.
So basically what's missing from today's films is films.
Yeah.
Wow.
The things that actually go to make up a movie. Yep.
Huh.
Keith Wright, member of the second greatest podcast in all of known space and time. Too Little Earth, Wind, and Fire. What? That's an in-joke for those people who know that they are sometimes referred to as the elements.
Oh, I see. What about water?
Jolly. I don't know why they left that out.
Water beats fire. Sorry, that's a
God. Those were toys.
Yes, they were. You had to rub the little decal and you could see which element they were, and then you fought with them, I guess.
Brian Mundo says, oh my, yes.
I think that...
Oh dear. Oh boy. I think they've got too much of the fourth, and definitely the first and second are overdone, but the fifth, not enough at all.
Thank you, Slow Bear.
Nicely done. Well played, sir. Well played.
The fifth element, which as everyone knows is gas.
Tyler Stewart says, original good scripts.
Yeah.
Also, well-choreographed fight scenes that further the story. You know what? I would settle for well-choreographed fight scenes that you can actually see.
Yeah.
That don't involve the cameraman.
Or the camera
let's beat up the cameraman. And our scholar from across to the Emerald Isle, below lading.
Below lading.
It's a very nice touch on Bluesky.
Oh.
Bill posted a animated GIF basically of his answer, and it summed it up very well. It was Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield, which I believe was from How to Marry a Millionaire. I think it's How to Marry a Millionaire. Okay. Yeah. This glamour.
Oh.
Cinema once thrived on glamour, the shimmering aura of stars who seemed larger than life. Hollywood's golden age offered mystery, elegance, and allure, making the screen a gateway to dreams and wonderful escapism. Today, in an era of gritty realism, cynicism, and constant social media exposure, that mystique has faded, perhaps forever. The way actors are depicted today, they are stripped of the enigmatic charm that once defined them. While modern cinema excels in authenticity and technical brilliance, it rarely aspires to dazzle. Modern franchises that used to focus on glamour, James Bond, have largely left that element behind. Others have preserved it, Ocean's 11. True, glamour can result in sexist tropes, style over substance, and rely on unreal expectations about women's bodies, etc. But who cares? Well, glad that's been solved. Thanks, Bill.
Wow.
Glamour is not illusion, but aspiration, reminding us that films can elevate, enchant, and offer a vision of life more luminous than our own. Very elegant. I would like to point out glamour also creates somewhat unreasonable expectations for men. Do you own a tuxedo? I don't.
I've never been in a tuxedo.
I have worn them. They have all been rented.
Yeah. I also, to be fair, he mentions Ocean's 11. Wasn't that like 25 years ago? It was 99, something like that.
Yeah. It counts as old now.
But still, thanks.
And of course, pardon me while I get my flamenco guitar ready. I place a rose between my teeth because we have a message from my little Spanish endearment, Doris Hempelmeyer.
I could hear the little brackets.
Yep. Insert Spanish endearment here.
Hello, Max Mike Movies. Hi, Max. This is Doris Hempelmeyer here to answer your poll question for the week, which just happens to be, what ingredient, if any, do you feel is missing from today's movies? Well, this is going to sound cheeky, but I really honestly mean it. And what I think is missing is story. You got all this stuff going on, all these things blowing up and dinosaurs and superheroes and everything, and it's all about stuff. It's not about the what. I mean, why are we here? Right? Tell me I'm not right. I don't think you will. So story, that's my answer. I want to see a good story. I want to see a beginning, a middle, and end. I want to see how these people grow through a story. And by the way, I would like characters that are more than two-dimensional. I guess that's two things. Sorry, but you got me on a roll. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to hearing next week's episode. I love this one, because I love Jumpin' Jack Flash. Anyway, bye, Max.
I can't argue with my little tequila blossom. The structure of a good story. People either try to get experimental and blow it all to hell, or they just ignore it.
Yeah, story structure. Huh, yeah. But I don't want slavish adherence to story structure either. I don't want...
but it'd be nice to see a little of it again. People are just sort of acting like it doesn't belong at all.
I don't know that I agree with that. I think, quite honestly, the story structure, especially in things like superhero films, you can almost set your watch to it. Like, we got to have the mid-movie break now. You know, here comes Act 3.
Here's the liar revealed. Yep.
Yeah, so I want to say adherence to a structure, not necessarily the structure. And that's where I will come back on Doris and her... opinions, which start with you, so I think they're questionable.
Not at all. Clearly, she is a woman of remarkable taste and insight.
Bad is a taste.
But however, what about you, Mike? What element is missing? And remember, we've already had helium and osmium. So,
is osmium a thing? Like, is that real?
Yeah, no, it's a real element.
And it's only found where? Over the rainbow? What the hell is that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So the first one that I have that I think is missing is one that I think relates to what a lot of the people, especially Bill O'Lading, was saying, and that is innocence. And I honestly don't think we can get it back. I think it's gone.
No, probably not.
Even in kids' films, like he pointed out, snarky. Or no, that was Matt. Matt was pointing out, like, if you're in a genre film, you have to be snarky because you know you're in a genre film. And there used to be an innocence in films, adult films, kid films, whatever, and you can't do that anymore because we've, I guess, grown past it. Yeah,
we're not innocent then, I'm afraid.
And I'm going to have to agree with, I think it was Jamie Kleinert, who is like original stories. Because, we did that series in the 90s and both of us were surprised at how good and in some cases risk-taking the 90s films were willing to be. But if you go back another decade to the 80s, the seeds to a lot of today's franchises were done in the 80s when people were willing to throw a few $1 million away on little low-budget films like Terminator that were figured, even if it doesn't lead anywhere, we can get our money back through a tax break. And, they would just do things because they could, and now everything has to be gigantic and everything has to make huge amounts of money or we're not doing it. So, originality and innocence, I think, are the two things I miss the most. What about you? What do you miss? What elements are missing from films for you?
It was a term you used, but wasn't one of your list. Risk.
Yeah.
People don't especially the major studios, they don't take risks.
No.
Everything is safe. It's focus grouped. It's algorithmed.
Yeah.
It's
dull.
It's dull. It is an attempt to appeal to the largest possible audience, which means, as far as most studios are concerned, means the lowest common denominator, which is pretty friggin' insulting to just about everybody watching movies.
Yeah.
I miss when people would say, yeah, you know what, let's do something. This kid Chris Nolan wants to do a movie that is chronologically backwards. Yeah, why not? Give him a few bucks. We don't do that anymore.
I gotta say, I've been to the theater more in the last 2 months than I have been in the last 2 years, partially because of the show and partially just because things popped up. And I gotta say, even when I like a film, it's always, I'll give it a B. I'll be nice. I'll like Superman. If I was really objective about Superman, I probably would not even give it a B because there are some major problems with it, not least of which is I wasn't surprised by anything.
Yeah.
Right? So I honestly think that our tastes have been eroded. We're so used to getting crap that if we get anything that we like at all, we're willing to elevate it a bit because it's not horrible or it's not exactly the same thing. It's slightly not the exact same thing. So, yeah, there's a lot missing in today's theater. Yeah. But you know what's not missing is a new poll question, I'm betting, Max. Did you come up with a new poll question for us? Not in your fake Spanish, please.
I have el cuestione noye.
My brain
We're
hurts.
wanting to comprendo.
Oh, stop!
Yeah. I never even took a Spanish class. I can't even
German,
fake
just
it.
like I did.
German. I took French. Took some
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Okay, this one I may have to rephrase. But what sort of violence in movies do you think is more appropriate? Cartoonish and bloodless, or really gritty and realistic to let people know what violence actually means?
Okay.
There's plenty of both in movies. Do you think one is appropriate and the other isn't, or is it based on the setting? We want to hear, what do you think of movie violence? Should it be realistic or not?
Trying to think of how to get that into the little Facebook
I'm
color
going to have
box.
to rephrase it on the web when I write it up on the website.
Well, the website doesn't matter. It's the little color box on Facebook. You can only have so many characters, and then the little color box goes away. And without the color box, people don't see it. So, yeah.
And without color boxes, Mr. Bigglesworth is unhappy. And when Mr. Bigglesworth is unhappy, people die!
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But we'll tell you how to blah, 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 blah.
We'll talk all about that, blah, 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 etc., etc. Now, let us talk about the facts. The budget for El Mariachi, $7,000.
That many?
That is the entire production budget. Now, once they sold it to Columbia and they put in post-production, that was about another $200K.
Wow. Okay.
But he shot the movie for $7,000. We'll get to why. How much did it make? Over $2 million.
Oh, well, that's a pretty decent advance back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons is Mr. Rodriguez got himself a career. Robert Rodriguez not only produced and directed and wrote this film.
Oh, there's more.
He did the special effects. Mm-hmm. He was the cameraman, makeup, everything. The only job he did not do was act, and that was because there would be no one to operate the camera.
Yeah.
It was amazing. There are no storyboards for this movie because there was no one to show them to. Yeah.
Not even himself.
Due to the high body count of the film, Rodriguez increasingly had difficulty finding adult men to play thugs, as dead characters obviously couldn't return. For that reason, when the mariachi meets Moco's gang at the end of the film, you notice most of the gang is made up of teenagers.
Why can't you keep putting a mustache on people? That'll work.
Yeah.
I won't notice.
This was shot in multiple locations in Mexico, somewhere roughly near Del Rio, Texas. Originally, this film wasn't supposed to be in theaters. It was supposed to be sold to the Latino video market as funding for another bigger and better project that Rodriguez was contemplating. However, they all said no. So Rodriguez decided to send his film to bigger distribution companies where it started to get attention.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Spy Kids. That just fell out.
Lots of Spy Kids. The opening scenes featuring a shootout in a jail were filmed at local Acuna jail situated on the outskirts of town. The female warden and the male guard, the actual real-life warden and guard.
Well, it's nice because we actually get to see her being paid for the film, in the film.
Yep, exactly. Rodriguez thought it was convenient because it saved him the cost of hiring actors and renting clothing. Of the $7,000 that it took to make this film, Robert Rodriguez raised $3,000 of it by volunteering to be a human lab rat.
Ugh.
He was used to test a cholesterol-reducing drug. Paid $100 a day for 30 days, he wrote most of the script while locked in the lab.
Ugh.
Peter Marquardt, the guy who plays Maurizio, or Moco, was a fellow lab rat. As you might have been able to tell from his delivery, he couldn't speak Spanish.
Oh.
He delivered his lines from a card held in his hand or out of shot. Most of the time, he had no idea what he was saying.
Wow.
Most of the money was spent on film for the camera. Rodriguez was quoted as saying, "If we hadn't had to pay for film, the movie would have cost us $600.
And that makes sense. And developing costs, I'm sure.
Yep. The owner of the hotel and the bartender in the cantina he first goes into, those weren't actors. They were local newscasters who were really angry at Rodriguez for filming in their town and were bad-mouthing the film on their shows. To get them to stop, he gave them each small parts in the movie.
Good for him.
Yep. The title was not translated for the American release because they felt not a lot of people would go see an action film called The Guitar Player. Many of the edits were necessitated by Rodriguez's frugal nature. Anytime the actors made some progress through a scene and then messed up, Rodriguez cut to a different angle right before the mistake rather than reshoot the whole scene.
Worked for me.
Yeah. In addition to the subtitled version, Columbia had an English dubbed version prepared for home video. Yeah, I've never seen that, and I don't really want to. According to Rodriguez, the dubbing job cost more than he spent to film the movie.
Well, I think lunch would cost more than he spent to film the movie.
Rodriguez believes in filming scenes sequentially in one long take with a single camera. Well, that's all he had.
I was gonna say.
Every few seconds, he froze the action so he could change the camera angle and make it appear that he used multiple cameras simultaneously. Yep, we would just go, freeze! Everyone just stood there, moved the camera. Okay.
Red light.
That line, yep, pretty much. The line that the mariachi says about free coconuts was added later because Rodriguez realized they didn't show him paying for the coconut.
I wondered about that. It's like, I don't think that was supposed to be free, but the guy didn't say anything, so...
In the dream sequences, the disembodied head, the dreadfully realistic severed head, is supposed to be Rodriguez's. The model was based on him.
Okay.
The guns were borrowed from the local police station, but they had a drawback. Blanks could only be fired one at a time before they jammed the gun. Rodriguez fixed this in editing by double-cutting the gun firing, then cutting to the bad guys getting squibbed with machine gun sound effects.
Good for him. I mean, I'm sensing a little bit of that Eduardo Wudo go-to-itiveness.
Yeah. The bar at the beginning is the same bar in the opening of Desperado, 1995, which is the unofficial sequel to this movie.
It's not unofficial at all, but we'll get to that.
No, that's true. Most of the exterior shots were shot on the same 2 blocks to avoid using up too much money on gas.
And permits.
What permits? There were no permits. He would put up a sign saying, "We're shooting here," but he put it up in English so nobody could read it.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently it worked. Most of the guns in this movie were water pistols. A few were real, like I say, borrowed from the police force. In a shot at the end of the film where the mariachi is pulled out of the yellow Ford by Moco's henchmen, there's a shot of Moco walking toward the camera. Behind him, laying asleep on a bench, is the cop who is meant to be the on-set supervisor for the weapons use of the day. Having a nice nap.
Well, why not?
Originally, there was supposed to be a climactic scene where the mariachi has a shootout with the bad guys in Moco's ranch and escaping. This would have occurred after Moco sees they got the wrong guy at the ranch. According to Rodriguez, he cut out the scene not only due to time constraints, but also that the owners of the camera he used to film the movie wanted it back very soon, as they were selling it.
Oops.
This explains why the henchmen just dropped the mariachi out on the street.
Yeah. I mean, it still worked, but...
There's more, mostly about how Rodriguez got away with cutting a lot of corners, but I think that's good, unless you got anything.
No, I don't think we need any more about how cheap this movie was.
So, let's get to the storyline thing.
El Plato.
El Plato de Nero.
Oh, we have offended so many people.
Let's get a few more. This poor mariachi with his guitar case. Ay, Dios mío! All he wants to do is come to this little city and get a job playing music like his forefathers did. But ach du lieber! He's mistaken for a vicious gang leader who also carries a guitar case, although instead of a nice Spanish guitar, his is filled with guns and knives and implements of destruction. Oy veyes mir. Of course the cases get mixed up, but it's not as wacky as in What's Up, Doc? And there's mistaken identity, but nothing you could really call hijinks. El Mariachi is caught in the middle of a bloody gang war, but still has time to fall in love with La Belle Femme, Domino, before a very nasty showdown at one of the gangsters' strongholds. Merde contre merde. What a predicament. But, as the Mariachi always say, Shigataganai. The film.
Will you pick a frickin' language to insult and just stick with it?
Nope, I'm going to do them all. As soon as I can find a good way to insult Tagalog, Swahili, and Mandarin, I'm going to use them.
You just did. Anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Bite me, Mandarin.
Beat-moi. Anyway, Max,
Yes.
did you see this before the show?
No, I did not. I've never seen this movie. I've seen Desperado.
Yeah.
And whatever the hell, there's another sequel. You know, it's I think it's Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of fun. And it's the same character. It's El Mariachi. That's his name, by the way. El, like El McPherson or El Woods.
No, it's an L. It's an initial. It stands for something.
Oh, okay. It's like Laverne. All right.
Right. I think it stands for Los Mariachi.
Los Mariachi.
Which, of course, is plural. Yes, we know. We're just being very horrible.
Yes, we are.
I thought I had seen it.
Yeah?
Because Desperado came out, and I heard I actually originally thought Desperado was a remake of this, but it's not. I'm positive of this, because after watching El Mariachi, it's like, I'm kind of in the mood to see Desperado, and I haven't seen it in a long time. Real quick, and we'll probably come back to Desperado. Oh, is Antonio Banderas a slinky sex god in that movie? Oh, he comes out and it's just like, who's that? I don't know if that was his first film, but oh my gods. So, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about El Mariachi. Yeah. Yep. And we're going to talk about the acting, about which we know little because it's not in English.
Yep. And honestly, I have never heard of any of the people in this movie before or since. I believe they have careers in Mexican film.
They might, but they don't have pictures on IMDb, so...
Now, a bunch of these guys, by the way, make it into a lot of other Robert Rodriguez films. Peter Marquardt, who plays Mauricio, he plays Moco again in Desperado.
Briefly, but yeah.
Briefly, yeah. But, we got Carlos Gallardo.
To be fair, also shows up in Desperado, although not as his character, because Antonio.
Yeah, Rodriguez has people he uses over and over again.
Yeah. I think Carlos Gallardo is fine. I mean, I don't think he's... let's face it, this is not an actor's film as far as we can tell. But really. I think he has got a nice feeling of innocence, and he's got that nice boyish face. And it looks like he actually sings and plays the guitar, because quite honestly, could they afford anybody else to dub him? I don't know.
It is. They use a pop singer.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not. I don't believe it's him singing any of the songs, but I think it's him playing the guitar.
The only issue I have with his acting has to do with the writing, and that is he suddenly is in the position where he has to actually shoot at people. He says he killed 4 people. He only killed 1, but that's okay at the time. But he gets over it real quick. So
yes, it's fortunate, isn't it, that mariachi are trained to be expert marksmen and skilled in the use of mace and chain.
Yeah, well, he doesn't actually use it. He just grabs it.
No, but you can see him whip the thing around. He knows what he's doing with it.
the chain's luckily not long enough so that the ball could actually hit the hand wielding it. That's the only thing that keeps him from being hurt by himself. But he's fine. Carlos Gallardo is fine as the mariachi. I believe him in this part. I don't believe he grows up to be Antonio Banderas, but that's okay. That has nothing to do with this film.
What do you think of Consuelo Gomez as Domino?
Now, Domino was the woman, right?
Yes.
Okay, because the picture...
Woman. There's only 2 women in this movie, and she's the only one with a line.
Well,
no, I'm sorry. There are 3 others, but they mostly laugh and point guns at people.
Well, here's the thing. There's also the woman at the pool, at Moko's pool.
Oh, yeah.
And I initially thought it was the same person because I don't do well with faces, and they have the exact same... Sadly, hair has become one of the things that I focus on to tell people apart. And her hair is a little bit wavy, but it's otherwise long and worn, past shoulder length, just like the woman in the pool. So I actually initially thought it was the same person. That has nothing to do with them. It's just because I have a really hard time telling faces apart as I get older. That's just
there's also the point that this woman is walking around in a bikini, and Mike apparently doesn't pay any attention to the bodies either, because the 2 are built very differently.
She was? Oh, yeah. Domino is nice. She's fine. I mean, I can't really tell because...
First off, I think she has a great face. She really is incredibly expressive and does things with very subtle facial expression.
Yeah.
She's very much the, yes, I am the world-weary woman who falls for the lone gunman with no name.
Well, guitar man, but yeah. And she falls for him with a letter opener.
Yeah. And, they fall for each other, of course, instantly and just very, very quickly. But again... This is a movie. That's what happens in movies.
Also, to be fair, the only people in town are either Moko or people Moko employs or people that aren't good enough for Moko to employ, so she's not got a lot to choose from. So when somebody young and talented and handsome shows up, I get it. It's fine. And she's nice looking, so why not? But yeah, you're right. It's a movie.
Yeah. And then we got Peter Marquardt, who does not speak Spanish.
Didn't know. Couldn't tell. I love the fact that he didn't know what he was saying. I mean, it's not the first time that's happened, Pink Lady and Jeff. So, it won't be the last time that happens. He's fine. He seems evil.
I think he's menacing. Yeah.
My note on him was he's kind of like I thought he was Mexican. He's kind of like the Mexican Richard E. Grant.
Kinda. I can see that.
So
I can see that.
Yeah, he's bad. I believe he's bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Just like Michael Jackson was bad.
You ain't bad, you ain't nothing. Reynold Martinez plays Azul, who's the other bad guy. Azul, I think, is really kind of interesting, and we'll talk about him more, but I think Martinez does a really good job with him. He's both, menacing, but this is a guy, he actually seems to want what's fair. It's like, I just want to get paid.
Well,
I want my money.
He wants what's fair for a criminal, because let's face it.
Yes, I mean, let's face it, he's not a warm, fuzzy human being, and he does kill a lot of people.
I don't know what his actual criminal empire is, because he's running it from jail. I got to give the guy credit. He's pretty smart. He's like, oh, look at me. I went to jail. I can no longer commit crimes. Here, have some money, and I'll just come and go as I please, and I have my cell phone and all this stuff.
Yes, and apparently everyone in the cells has a gun.
Well, I mean, I got to say this. He's not exactly setting him up in nice digs, but it's a place no one would look for him. And
it's a fort. I mean, it's a building made of stone. That's
and he does pay them.
To defend.
He pays the guards. So it's like, yeah, I think he does a good job. He's just short of cartoonish, some of his expressions, but you can tell that he means what he says. The only thing I have to say is that in the final scene, it's like, really? You just walked into this? Okay, sure, whatever.
This is your whole plan?
Yeah. Then there's a whole bunch of people. And
and most of them have no pictures on IMDb. And
no, they're just all related. They look exactly the same.
Oh,
they look like gray silhouettes. See?
That's right.
All their photos are the
same. Slightly darker gray, perfectly round heads and sort of football-shaped bodies.
I mean, a lot of them are just, gang members, thugs, or whatever.
Well, a lot of these folks, by the way, were just people in the town.
Yeah.
That Rodriguez would go, hey, stand over here for a sec. Here's 10 pesos.
And, as people who stand in the background of a town, portraying people who stand in the background of a town, they do a perfectly credible job.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's fine. Again, not an actor's film. This is an action film. It's maybe even a little bit of a mood film. So the fact that this is not, like, as far as we can tell, not being people who speak Spanish, they're not stellar actors is fine. They don't need to be. That's not what this is.
They're all perfectly competent.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of Rodriguez's films?
To be fair, no. I've seen Desperado, and I'm trying to think, is that the last one I saw? It might be. I never saw the Spy Kids films. I never saw the thing he did with Tarantino, and who shows up and sticks his fat nose into Desperado, among other things. I didn't see.
Have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
I can't. Is that a zombie film? No.
No, vampire film. George Clooney.
Maybe. Maybe.
Harvey Keitel.
I might have seen it and thought it was fun. That's the vague impression I'm getting, but I don't remember it that well. So, I don't...
Yeah.
How about you?
I've watched a bunch. I've seen 3 of the Spy Kids movies. I've seen Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, a few others.
Yeah.
I really watch this and go, yep, this is Robert Rodriguez. The little things like the shots from below, the sudden speed ups, the only very occasional use of slow motion.
Yeah, but there's also some choices that are like there's some Benny Hill feeling moments.
Sometimes when he speeds up, you really can hear
yakety sax.
Yep.
And if they had played that, I would have understood it. But I have to say that the little points of humor in there felt really weird.
Yeah, they feel out of place. This movie isn't funny, and the comic relief is sort of out of nowhere.
Yeah. And I got to say, as I said, as soon as I watched this, I'm like, I really am in the mood for Desperado, so I rented it right after El Mariachi, and a lot of that stuff is gone. The angles from underneath, gone. The sped up stuff, gone. It is a much tighter film experience, and I didn't look into this, but if I remember correctly, he somehow, I think he got the interest of Tarantino, and Tarantino showed up and was trying to hey, I can help you out, I like what you're doing, and ends up in the film. But honestly, Desperado is worth it just to see Quentin Tarantino's head blown off. Honestly, it totally is. But
that part was supposed to be Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
but
Steve Buscemi is in the film.
He is, but he was supposed to be that part, but Tarantino was interested, and Rodriguez said, sure, Steve, you can play this other thing.
And quite honestly, better. I mean, and Steve Buscemi, I'll watch him in anything. Honestly,
he's so much fun.
He has this ease about him that I rarely see in actors. Like, he just walks in and is like, yeah, what do you want me to do? Yeah, I can do that. And he just does it, and it always just feels effortless, Steve Buscemi. Yeah. But that's Desperado. If you haven't seen it, watch Desperado. Great film. And again, Antonio Banderas, slinky sex god, because he totally is. But I had not seen this film, and I, again, thought originally it was remade into Desperado. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
At the end of this film, did you get any feeling of any wanting or desire by the filmmaker for there to be a sequel or the story to continue?
I kind of did get that feeling. I mean, he's got his motorcycle, his guitar, he's taken his girlfriend's dog.
Yeah.
Who's the most mellow pit bull I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, some of them are.
I know, some of them are very nice dogs. And drives off into the sunset. It does kind of set itself up to be a franchise. I should tell you, what Rodriguez himself said about this movie is he made this movie for practice.
I definitely did get an amateur feeling about the film. Here's something I'll give him a lot of credit for, though. The film opens, you get the premise right away. It is easily seen. It is understood. It's right to the point. We're not messing around. We get it. And from there, I mean, the whole mistaken identity thing, I mean, that is as classic as it gets. I mean, even Shakespeare wasn't doing anything new when he did it. Yeah. And we can see why. People have never seen this guy because he hides out in this rotten jail. So I maybe practice, but I think he's just short of experimenting too much because there's the weird angles, the sped up weird, the yakety sax parts. I think he's fairly focused on what he wants to do and what the story is. What do you think?
Yeah, I do think you can see him trying stuff out. And I'm glad he did drop the slow motion and the speed ups. I can again understand why he did them. Nothing else, it was probably saving money and saving a little bit of runtime.
Yeah.
for some of it. I like his style in general in the later movies, and you can really see the roots of it here. You can see it's already starting. He hasn't found his way yet. By the way, this should come as no shock. One of his other major claims to fame is he directs a lot of music videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from everybody from, I think, Sonic Youth to Lady Gaga.
Oh, Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga. Let me ask you something. What do you think of the pacing in this movie?
I thought it was well paced. I thought it moves along pretty well. There's some times where it slows down, but they're mostly for the love scenes, which there actually aren't any of. But in general, I thought towards the end there was a little bit of slowdown when he gets picked up and taken to El Bucho. I'm sorry, Moco. That after that, things were a little slow before we finally get Azul to show up and finally do his Azul thing, which quite honestly isn't impressive at all. He basically just gets shot.
Yeah.
But in general, for, a first timer, I think it's not long. It's like an hour and 26 minutes or something like that. But I thought it moved. I was interested. How about you?
I think the pacing was surprisingly good for a first-time director. A lot of the first-timers you see, and we've pointed this out, they don't always get the pacing right. Not the first time, and you understand that. But Rodriguez seems to have just a natural sense for how a film, and especially an action film, has to be paced. And the slow scenes don't drag at all.
No.
They're like these little islands of calm.
As we found out, they can't go on very long because then somebody blows the take and he has to cut it because he didn't shoot it again.
Exactly. I think
I miss that kind of restriction on people's filmmaking where it's like, hey, we're going to, like, what if somebody did that, even to a big director like Spielberg? What if you said to Spielberg, I'm going to give you $1 million, I'm going to give you 30 days. That's all you get. What can you do? I'd really be interested in that. Would you?
I would. You look back, it's so interesting what people had to do to make do. And you end up often with brilliance. Look at Jaws.
Yeah.
The shark didn't work.
No.
And they worked around it and made it better.
Yeah. And, see our entire episode on Jaws.
Honestly, this handing over the GDP of a small country to make a movie, I think, is absurd.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was who said it at the Oscars. I think it was last year. Said, don't make one $200 million movie.
Yeah.
Make 10, $20 million movies.
Or
20, 10 million.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
And I think that when you're watching it, you give it a little bit of a pass because you know that this was not made for very much money. And so even though the weird scenes where they speed up and stuff's like, it's his first film, it's still entertaining. Like if this was showing at a repertoire house, I'd go. I bet the audience would be great. They'd probably be really into it.
They'd have a lot of fun. Yeah.
And I'd rather see this than some of the big budget films that are slated to come out.
This is a movie also that made me really wish I could, in fact, speak Spanish. Because I know like 5 words because we all pick them up from television. It's the second most spoken language in this country. You can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why another reason I kind of wish I could speak it. But I'm not good at any languages.
Not even English.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're...
Anyway, your next point was...
Yeah. Thing. My point was I know at least at one point when the hotel manager is trying to pinpoint the mariachi for the thugs because he keeps getting away from them.
Yeah.
And in the subtitles, it's always, he's calling them morons, he's calling them idiots. He's not. He's calling them pendejos.
Yeah.
Which I know is a much fouler thing than idiot or moron, and I'm not going to say it.
I believe it's crumb bun or...
Crumb bun? I think it's Monday through Friday snakes.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. No,
yeah. But I do wish because I wonder what... The original language sounds so good. It flows really well. Much better than the subtitles do.
Well, even when he's singing that little made-up song in the bathtub when she's basically pointing a letter opener at his cojones. And it actually is making it up on the spot, and it's kind of funny, but it sounds wonderful. It's like, no wonder they call it the language of love. It's like, I'm falling in love just listening to it. I don't know what he's saying.
I like how he says, that's the best I've ever played in my life.
So, yeah, and that's, in a way we can enjoy it in a way that maybe the native speakers of the language can't, because to them it just sounds like the way we hear English, but to the rest of us, it's like, oh, it's so exotic and lovely, and, that's, yeah. So, was the directorial style here, and quite honestly, the lack of budget, did it remind you of any other director? Because there was a director that popped into my head, and it's like, oh, this kind of feels like early films of...
I thought of Kevin Smith, for one.
I went with Sergio Leone.
Okay. Yeah,
Not least of which for the heat and the sweatiness and the greasiness, but they're
also just the Gunslinger movie.
Yeah, it just felt... I don't know if he was a Leone fan or is a Leone fan or not, but it had that. And we talked about that when we did Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I think that's the one we did. Mm-hmm. Where, again, no money. And if you squint real hard, Italy looks like the old West of the United States, doesn't it? And quite honestly, did a lot better than a lot of American directors had done with the same subject for years. And I felt to me like he had that spirit of, I've got nothing and I've got nothing to lose. And Sergio Leone, his early films felt like that too. Although Sergio Leone also had that style. There was just some sort of style about him. So, but I just wondered if why Kevin Smith, just out of curiosity.
Again, because it's that gritty, we have $5 to shoot. Yeah. We're going to do a lot of this in the same place.
Yeah.
There's no one you've ever heard of in this movie.
Really at all, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we have these dream sequences.
I was going to bring those up.
What did you think of the dream sequences? Because for those who didn't see the film, there are points in the film where he falls asleep and almost instantly enters this little dream world, which seems to be the same place. Some town, maybe his hometown, sees himself as a kid or somebody as a kid in the thing, and bad things happen. Mm-hmm. What did you initially think about those dream sequences?
Honestly, I thought they weren't necessary.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Because I didn't get anything from them. I thought it was supposed to, now we're going to get some kind of insight into his past. Not really. I mean, you can guess, like, he must have come from a violent background or...
Well, here's the problem. As it turns out, the dreams aren't about his past at all. They're all precognition.
Oh, yeah, they're all visions of the future.
Right. Or like, hey, your violence is coming. Like, he generally has the dream right before, and then wakes up right before something bad happens. I initially thought the same thing because having remembered seeing Desperado, I'm like, eventually when he opens that guitar case, we're going to find out he had been a mariachi, but he actually is a bad guy, but he isn't in this film. And so I thought the kid was him turning to violence because his child's life was violent or something, but it wasn't. It takes a long time to figure out, the dream sequences are really more precognitive. I don't know if... I think if you took them out, it would just literally be scenes of him waking up every so often and it's bad stuff. I kind of like them, but I wish I understood that they weren't his past earlier, because I'd rather know a little bit more about him.
That kind of fits the whole idea of the musician as a mystic, as one who communes with the spirits or some such. There's always been a kind of mixture of magic and music.
Well, especially in Mexican culture, right? There's a lot of spiritual stuff in Mexican culture, so much more so than our general culture. And I know this because I saw Coco. That means I know everything about Mexican culture.
Yep.
Do you have any scenes that stood out in particular for you, or things you were, that's kind of neat, or that's cool, or...
I kind of like these little touches. Like that Azul will only drink beer from a bottle and doesn't understand why everyone doesn't realize that. Or something that they were trying to turn into a theme, but I don't think he did it enough, where Moko keeps striking a match on his henchman.
Yep.
And at the end, the henchman strikes a match on his dead body.
Yeah.
I thought that could have been a nice touch. They didn't develop it enough.
I thought it was fine.
It needed to happen at least once more, I thought.
I thought it was fine. We knew what was going on. We knew what the gesture meant. I was fine with that. I actually like the thing with the bottle, too, because the first person to just serve it to him in a bottle is Domino. And I think that underlines her character to say she's more than a little smarter than the average person.
Yeah, she knows that's how he wants it. She doesn't know it. She's never met him, but she just knows. I kind of like the scene in Azul's, not the jail, but his second hideout with his female bodyguards.
Uh-huh.
That he's in bed with all three of them. And what I like is they aren't like James Bond henchwomen. They aren't these, supermodel types. They look like real people.
Yeah.
And they also look like, yes, I believe these women would kill me if I came into the room too quickly.
Well, it's two little henchmen there that are like, oh boy, we're going to get a look, or we're going to get a turn. And they just pop up from behind the counter with their guns and like, haha, no. There was a scene I really liked. So early in the film, he's running from the bad guys, from Moko's bad guys that think that he's Azul. And he leaps in the back of a pickup truck and hides, and everything's cool. Later in the film, he does it again, and I'm like, wow, you're going to reuse this gag? But no, there's a twist. Because suddenly there's Moko on one of Moko's bad guys talking to this other bad guy, and he's like, hey, have you seen him? And he's like, yeah, he just jumped in my truck. And I was like, I like that little twist. That little
nice
twist
touch.
Worked really well, because initially I was like, oh, don't do the same thing again. And I thought that was actually pretty cool. What did you think about the violence? Because ostensibly it's a very violent film.
The violence is remarkably sanitary for the most part. There's a little blood here and there.
Blood's expensive.
Yeah, blood is expensive. They couldn't afford a lot of squibs. One of the other things I read was when Peter Marquardt gets shot, there was a malfunction with the blood packs, and they hit him too hard, and that's why when he's falling and writhing in agony, he's really in pain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Luckily, pain doesn't cost extra.
Yeah.
Till later.
I think the violence is surprisingly restrained.
In a way, it's more realistic. I mean, it's not realistic, but it's a lot more realistic than most films. Like when people get shot and they fly across the room, dear gods, I'm tired of that.
Oh, please. And I like the fact that after he's had his big escape and bouncing off of things and falling, he's actually scraped up and bruised and hurt. As opposed to just brush, I'm fine.
Or the Jim Kirk, corner of the mouth wipe. Because,
Yeah, no, I think the violence is reasonable for the story.
I think some of the stunts are fairly impressive considering it was $7,000. My favorite of which is when he takes that stupid, that's not a Morning Star, the ball and chain, and he basically is like, fine, I'm going to just go on this wire across to the next building. And you got the impression it's like, okay, we need to do this in one take. I'm out of film. And also, stuntmen, what stuntmen?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were all doing their own stuff.
Yeah, I was like, everything looked real to me, people throwing themselves around and stuff. There's also one scene where El Mariachi is running towards us and he has to skid to a halt. And it's almost like a perfect drift, like watching a Japanese race car driver or something. And it's like, man, I wonder how many times he had to do that. Well, obviously once, because we can't do it again. It's too expensive.
Rodriguez tended to leave the mistakes in the movie. There's a sequence where Mariachi is exhausted or banged around, and he's carrying this Ingram M10 with the huge silencer on it, and he whacks it against a telephone pole by accident. That's not in the script. But Rodriguez was like, keep filming!
Well, and to be fair, there's a lot of times where there have been shootouts or people in the middle of the road or people walking around with guns, and nobody in the background is in any way reacting at all.
Yeah, it's very sort of the cliche of New York, of the, another gunfight.
No.
My other question was, does this city have any police at all?
No. This is not about the cliche of New York or bad places. This is the cliche of no permito. That is what this is.
Yeah. All the drivers are like, It's like, technically, there's a bloody corpse in the road, and they're just like, just got to drive around that.
Yeah. So there's the cheapness shows through in multiple ways. I'll say, but you know what else shows through is unfortunately we are running out of time. Do you have any last notes we need to get to before we wrap this up?
Nope, don't think so. Let's hit it.
The finish.
So Max, had not seen El Mariachi. Or is that no? What did you think of Robert Rodriguez? I always thought his name was Roberto, but it's not. Robert Rodriguez's first film.
For a first film and for what is basically a practice done with pocket change, I think it's pretty impressive. You can definitely see ways he could have improved it. Of course he could have. He probably would have. He had more money. But some of it is he hadn't come into his own yet. He hadn't quite figured out how not to use gimmicks like slow motion and speeding up.
Yeah.
But for a first effort, I think this is pretty remarkable. And I think it's a decent movie. It's not, I don't think it's a brilliant movie. I'm not surprised it didn't win anything. But it's very good, especially for someone who hadn't done one. What about you? What'd you think?
Well, again, initially I came into this thinking, oh, it's going to be the same plot of Desperado. Spoiler, it's not, but it's not that different. So
No, very similar.
I had heard it was very, very violent, and all things considered, it's not. Especially for
not by today's
film.
standards.
No,
yeah.
not even for later Robert Rodriguez films, it would not be as violent. Desperado is a lot more violent than this is. I think it's a lot of fun, and dear God, $7,000? I'd pay the $7,000 to make a movie right now if I thought it could be half as good as that.
Yeah.
I don't imagine it was a lot of fun to make. I'm sure people, long hours and, so on and so forth. But I think it's fun. I think you could put it in a repertoire movie theater these days and people would go see it and probably do. And I'm glad it led to something better. As I said, I watched Desperado right after this. Plot's very similar, not the same, very similar. And we basically get to see if he had more money, what would he do? And the answer is not that much different, although he does bring in Danny Trejo, and I got to give him huge points for that.
Danny Trejo makes any movie better. By the way, I was mentioning the movies that he's done, that Rodriguez has done. I left out, we were talking of the ultraviolence, the Machete movies.
Oh, right.
Machete Kills, and the upcoming, and I'm not making this up, Machete Kills in Space. Yep.
Okay.
I cannot wait.
And Danny Trejo is such an interesting person. His story.
Oh, God, yeah. Read about him. He's so cool.
He's so cool. And yes, he did some horrible things and he went and paid for it and turned his life around and said, I'm not doing any of that anymore. And apparently his tacos are to die for. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Apparently also his donut store is really good too.
Yeah. Desperado kind of like El Mariachi with more money? Yes. Is it a better film? Yes. Is it? I don't know what the budget for Desperado is, but let's conservatively say it's 100 times the budget, $7 million.
I think that's safe.
Is Desperado 100 times better than El Mariachi? No. It's a good movie. I liked it. There's a few places where it drags too, and it has Antonio Banderas in it. But quite honestly,
also has Salma Hayek in it.
It does. He worked out a lot of stuff. Yes, he leaves some stuff behind, but he worked out a lot of stuff in this film that would serve him well. It's still going, however many years later, 32 years later. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's fun. Just remember, it's $7,000.
Yeah. And if you keep that in mind, it's actually pretty impressive for that kind of money.
Even still,
because
I think
we've seen movies that are made for more money and are significantly worse.
Sadly, we've seen films for less money. Roger Corman. Oh, no, I think that was $50,000. I think
so, yes. But yeah, basically still what he dug out of the couch cushions.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would watch it again. I liked El Mariachi. It was good. You should watch it. It was a good first effort. What else is a good effort is our poll question. Max, would you go over our poll question again?
I will do this, for this is how we do in my village. Where's the flamenco guitar? Where's the damn flamenco guitar?
Dun, 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 dun.
That's banjo, and you know it. What we'd like to know is, what kind of movie violence is, quote-unquote, acceptable? Should it be cartoonish and bloodless, or realistic and horrible, to give you an idea of what the actual effects of violence are? So you can let us know by punching us vigorously in the face, preferably Mike's, many times over. You can visit us at our website at maxmikemovies.com and leave a comment. You can email us directly. We loves us some email at us@maxmikemovies.com.
Thanks, Bill.
You can find us on the various mediated, socially networkable...
Facebook, Bluesky, and Mastodon. Next.
Those things. As Max Mike Movies. You can find us on the podcast app of your choice, or our choice.
And
of course, you can call our extreme violence hotline.
And ask Max for a date.
Yep. And it will verbally punch you in the face at 617-398-7266. That's 617-398-7266. Also, which spells out 617 face punch.
There is no face punching. And that's too many letters anyway.
There could be.
No.
Well, we have decided to extend this series because there's just so much to do. Because you know what? There are a lot of directors, and I did not know this. They all had first films.
Yeah.
Man, the things we learn in this show.
Quelle surprise.
Quelle surprise, but we got more coming up, and next week, what are we going to watch, Mike?
Well, we're not extending it yet because we're still under the 8-film thing. This will be number 7. But yes,
we are. Sorry, spoiler!
Ooh. Yeah, so next week, we're going to watch a film by a director who had a first film.
Well, that's breaking the mold.
It has nothing to do with the fact that up till this very second, I am still deciding what that film is going to be. I'm not stalling. It's called padding. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
No, next week, we're going to watch a film by a director we have watched before. Okay. Not all that long ago. But it is a director who is begging us to watch this film.
How is he begging us exactly?
Please, baby, please, baby, 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 please, baby, baby, please. Next week.
Woody Allen.
You know, I'd pay $5 to see Woody Allen do that. So, no, next week.
Please, baby. God, I can't even do it. I can't even do an impression of it.
Good.
It's impossible.
Yeah. So, next week, we're going to watch Spike Lee's first joint, She's Gotta Have It. My big question is, what is it, and why does she need it so much?
And who is she?
I have this feeling that we will find out what it is and why she's gotta have it.
This has been a co-production of The Voice of Max and The Movie Wrench.
El Button.
El Batono.
El Batono.
El Batono.
Si.
Because I speaky Spanish.
Oh, you ain't heard nothing yet.
God. Oh, dear. I should have guessed. A foreign film and Max writes his own opening scripts. I can't wait. Can you laugh like that in Spanish? Kills you in Spanish.
El.
That's better.